Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ready for Kickoff, our launch event for planning an incredible World Cup summer next year here in Bellevue. My name is Jesse Canedo. I am the city's Economic Development Director, and I will be your MC/referee for the next hour as we start to unpack the incredible opportunity that sports will be providing us to create community and memories here in Bellevue. We have a wonderful list of community leaders who are going to be talking about the different ways that we can tag in to next summer's festivities. But first, I want to give an opportunity for a member of our executive leadership team to welcome all of you and help kick us off officially. So I'm going to welcome Emil King, a 20-year veteran of the city of Bellevue and our community development director.
Thank you, Jesse. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Emil King. I'm the director of the Community Development Department, and I'm very happy to be part of the welcoming for World Cup 2026. It's really great to see a number of you that I know already. So our paths cross again for a great event, and for those of you who I don't know, I'm going to look forward to meeting you in the second half of our afternoon today. As everybody knows, Bellevue is a very international city. You know, over 45% of our residents were born outside of the U.S., so what better place to have an activation for the World's Game. I grew up in Hawaii. My soccer story started when I was 5 years old. It was actually when the island of Maui first started having youth soccer. It was sponsored by the Haleakala Dairy on Maui. So I got to actually meet a lot of kids playing soccer from the age 5. By the age 6, I knew the offsides rule. We played 11 on 11, even at those lower levels. So to this day, a lot of my great friends I met when I was a youth in Hawaii. And as I moved to this region to go to grad school, what really struck me was soccer in this region is a big deal. It's a way to bring a lot of people from who grew up in this region, and more importantly, people who grew up across the world. So it really is the world's game, the beautiful game. And I still play on men's league teams. I like to play pickup soccer on the weekends. When I tell my wife I'm going to play pickup soccer, I'm usually gone for at least 2 hours to go to one game, and then sometimes in the afternoon go to another game. So I really enjoy soccer as a sport. I'm really looking forward to what we can do on the east side collectively for the World Cup. So I know a lot of other cities are planning some great things, and we want to be able to share what we're doing in Bellevue today and really work as a team to do something collectively that's going to be great for our residents, our businesses, and visitors. And I think our vision at Bellevue is we're going to do something that is going to make a lasting impact. So what we do the rest of this year, next year is going to be important, but as we all look back in the coming years and decades, I think we'll remember back to 2026 and how we sought to activate things, how we sought to bring people together, using light rail as a great way to get around this region. It will be the easiest way to get into Seattle come game days, definitely. So really looking forward to what we're doing in 2026. Bellevue has been building this momentum for a long time. So we've been thinking about how to activate places like downtown Bellevue, Wilburton area, Bellred Arts District. And this is really going to provide a great opportunity to showcase those areas, for people to learn more about those areas and really test out some cool new ideas. Our city in the park philosophy is going to be a great nexus with this. So our active recreation fields will be activated. We have green spaces as well as in the city. So really showcasing with the help of folks like the BDA, Arts District Alliance, Spring District Association, Boys and Girls Club of Bellevue, and the rest of you in this room is going to be a great opportunity for next year. So as we think about creating a vibrant and welcoming space for everybody, let's view us all as the collective East Side team, also working with our Seattle side of the Lake partners. But I just couldn't be more excited about what we're going to do for the coming months as we're ready for the World Cup in 2026. Thank you.
Thank you, Emil. I, as the city's economic development director, also have the privilege of representing the city on the Seattle Sports Commission, which really has a philosophy about the power of sports to bring community together and how it takes a village, it takes a whole city to make a city move forward together in the incredible Oop, there goes my name tag. But so one of the things we wanted to do was make sure that we, thank you, sir. My name tag, thank you. So one of the things we wanted to do was make sure that we highlight all the incredible community partners that will be tagging into the game. And I have the incredible privilege of welcoming the president and CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Bellevue, Tim Motz, to talk to us about his experiences with the power of sports to bring families and communities together.
Thanks so much, Jesse. Appreciate it. Obviously, it's a very exciting time for our city, and to see all of you folks in the room, it really symbolizes what we know we plan to do in the coming months. But we know that starts with the connections and collaboration that's in this room. Yeah, when Jesse asked me to speak a little bit about this, I thought to give it a bit of a home feel and to give some context. So again, super honored to be the president and CEO of the local Boys and Girls Club, where we have those 17,000 kids and all their families that we hope to engage this year. But to take this back about 4 decades, when Jesse and I started having these conversations, we really talked about this notion of being that young kid. And I know I'm going to age myself super fast, but those of you have to remember the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles. And so I'm that young kid in Southern California. I don't have to be math whiz. I was 6 years old, so you could figure it out super fast. It just drop, So, but what made that so special though is that I was in Orange County, so I'm a good 45 miles away. But I promise you, as that 6-year-old kid, when I got on a bus at 3 a.m. in the morning to get on the Olympic bus, and it was taking us somewhere, and then we got off that bus, and then we'd get out and we'd see those Olympic rings, and then we'd see the American flag, and we'd see the symbolism everywhere. As that 6-year-old kid, I didn't have any context. I thought I was actually walking into the LA Coliseum to watch this amazing track and field event. Truth be told, I was at a small cycling event, in the regional area where they were still doing all the Olympic things. But the reality was that was my community. That was the group that we all gathered. Thousands of us came together to celebrate this world-class event that all eyes were on. And I believe that's the dream for us here in Bellevue, is we want to create some activation, some amazing community representation for our kiddos, for our families, and for everyone who wishes to be a part of it. We have the privilege of running 20 different locations at the Boys and Girls Club. And what makes this summer's game super unique for us in our region is that some of those games are going to be played when our kiddos are still in school. And some of those weeks are going to be occurring when our kids are out of school. So we can have different experiences depending on what is happening in our community. And, we're so blessed with the different parks, the different activation spaces that we have. It's going to be incredible for our families and for our community to feel like they're a part of the games without maybe necessarily being in the madness that is a million people 10 miles away. And for those of you who may have involved with the Club World Cup this last year, if you had any experience with that, you can tell the difference of being either at that stadium or 10 miles away. They're both incredible experiences, but for some of our Bellevue residents, we're really going to enjoy being World Cup adjacent, I think. And so that's the experience that we're going to be able to provide here. I think that representation is going to matter for our families, for our community. There's, scores of different countries that are represented in the World Cup. Well, we know there are scores of different languages spoken in our country, in our city, and our kids are represented by all those different regions. We have a lot of great ideas around that to make sure that they feel pride in obviously their local country participating as well as maybe their home country as well. So just to share that we're super excited as a Boys and Girls Club and kind of to open up shop with that conversation. Like Claire is a perfect example of someone who wants to collaborate with the Boys and Girls Club for the World Cup. Right, Claire? Awesome. That's it. Claire was walking in, so I had to do that. Hi, Claire. But no, it really is exciting when you have our business leaders, our council members, and our community folks that all want to come together to make this special experience. So for me, it's an opportunity to share a little bit about the excitement from the Boys and Girls Club, but also a bit of an open invitation that we have a lot of incredible community partners here who we want to work with to make sure that all of our families and that everyone in Bellevue feels like they have a robust experience for this upcoming World Cup. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a bit of part of the presentation.
Thank you, Tim. And as you all heard from Tim, it's all about collaboration and community. So today, I'm going to take a few minutes to talk a little bit about what the city's going to do to help make a platform on which our community members and our community organizations can help build a variety of experiences for next year. So, yeah. We have a little bit of a tagline we're building with Sound Transit. in Bellevue 2 Adventure, because next summer, the 2 line and our public transit will be a huge element of helping make sure that folks get in and out of Seattle and Bellevue safely and smoothly for the month. So we are working together and want to work with all of you to build an incredible month of celebration. And as Tim said, and as Emil said, it's not just FIFA. The things that we're working on and want to work with all of you on, we hope will have a lasting legacy, that many of the things will be repeatable events or repeatable platforms in the future beyond the World Cup. So just a little baselining for next summer. We have about a month's worth of activities. So the first game is June 11th, and the finale, the final game is July 19th. Teams and officials and others will start arriving in our region kind of beginning to mid-May. You'll start to see some of the teams come in, the FIFA officials, making sure that everything's set up correctly, that the grass is the correct breed and height for play and all of those things. This is the most geographically distributed World Cup in history that we are part of. 3 countries across all of North America, 16 different host cities. So there will be a lot of people moving across North America next year to experience the world's game. The teams, we still don't know who's going to play at Lumen Field. That will come out on December 5th with the big team draw. And then after that, we'll also find out where the teams will be basing themselves in prep for their games. So this little map that we stole from the local organizing committee shows you how many games are being hosted across the different cities. We're hosting 6. Our neighbors in BC are hosting 7. So there will be a lot of cross traffic, we hope, between here and Vancouver. We are hosting 6 games in Seattle. If you don't know the dates yet, they're here on the screen for you. We are hosting 6 weekday games at Lumen Field. So that creates some unique opportunities. As Tim said, we'll have our students will be in class for the first part of our games and then out for the second half of the tournament. The opportunity to create experiences as people are coming and going to and from Lumen Field or Seattle Center, as they're coming and going from their work in downtown Bellevue or downtown Redmond, or as they're just going to grab the groceries because it's a weekday and they need lettuce to make sure that they can do their salad for the night. You have an opportunity to grab people on their way and bring them into community. So we're hoping that all of you will help us create lasting memories. Quick note on the importance of public transit. For those 6 games at Lumen, there will be no on-site parking. So that public transit component is really important. We're working with Sound Transit to make sure we have all that capacity to get people to and from. But I mentioned that because really the 2 line going across the lake, we're going to encourage people to use the 2 line. We're going to encourage people to get on at the downtown station, at the Bell-Red station, at the South Bellevue station. So those light rail stations are going to be a key part of the experience next summer. And we're so glad for the region's investment in light rail in Bellevue. A little bit about the regional context. Next summer, we're expecting about 150,000 additional visitors to the Seattle area. Of that, about 15,000 additional visitors just for Bellevue. We are the state's 2nd largest hotel market, so we'll have a lot of people just coming in naturally. And as you know, the Seattle summers are incredible. So what we're expecting is that a lot of folks will maybe delay their usual June, July visit to Bellevue so that we can receive more of our FIFA-related, soccer-related visitors. It'll be a different visitor profile. I'm sure Visit Bellevue will talk a little bit about who we can expect, but this is a really, really mobile crowd that will be coming from all over the world. These are folks that may decide with less than a week's notice if they're going to fly from Guadalajara to Seattle to experience a game. So lots of great opportunity, very international context. The dots on the map behind me are the official statewide fan zones. So the local organizing committee has been doing a lot of work to make sure that the impact of FIFA and the World Cup happens not just in King County, but across the state. So there are fan zones in Spokane, in the Tri-Cities, in Everett and Tacoma, and up in Bellingham. Bellevue is so close to Seattle that our official fan zone is at Seattle Center. But that means that we get to create some unique opportunities here in the city, and we're excited about that. So as I mentioned, a lot of our activity, we want to focus around that incredible regional investment in the 2 line that is up and running. We know that that's going to be super essential for getting people back and forth, not just during the games, but afterwards as well. The additional 15,000 visitors that we'll have will encourage them to explore the 2 line between Bellevue and Redmond, and the Seattle side too, but we really want them on the east side. We want to work with all of our partners. So in a little while, we're going to have a few of our partners come up and share their visions for the activations in their neighborhoods. A lot of the folks will be getting on at the downtown station, the Spring District station, the Bell Red station, and the South Bellevue station. So we want to focus a lot of our activity there. Of course, people will also use the East Main and Wilburton station, but we do find even now that a lot of our traffic is those 4 primary stations. So we want to work to create some curated experiences, whether you're coming and going to and from the game, maybe some watch parties, some fan festivals around the stations, and or if you happen to have an extra night in Bellevue to go and explore, to get off at the Bell Red station and experience the incredible arts that's happening, the creative businesses that are in Bell Red, or maybe visit Marymore Park and watch some of the things that are going to be going on there. So it's a holistic 2-line East Side experience. And again, we're hoping that what we put together next summer will be things that we can repeat for a future Mariners playoff run, a future Seahawks playoff run, all sorts of things where community will want to come together. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Anthony Gill, our Grand Connection Corridor Manager, to talk about the things we're doing to make it easier and better to do public programming in the city.
Awesome. Thank you, Jesse. So I have 3 things that I want to talk to you about today, and they're basically the 3 of the big things that we are doing as the city to make things a little bit easier for people who want to host activations, events, programs, and other activities during the World Cup next year and beyond. So the first item is process improvements. So one of the things we've heard from a lot of our community members is we need to make it easier to host some of these small events and activations. We've done a lot of work over the past few years to make it easier to host big events and activities, things with more than 500 people. Susan will talk a little bit more about that, but we need to make it easier for these smaller activations and activities. So by spring of next year, we are working to launch new tools focused on new regulations, new rules, easier rules to host a neighborhood scale block party. This is your activations that might take place on the end of a cul-de-sac or on your block. These are really your small scale community focused events. We're working on some new tools that will make it easier to host a small event or activation. These are your things with fewer than 500 people, but they might take place in a plaza, downtown, in the Spring District, in Bell Red, in Crossroads, but draw in more people than your small scale block party, but not quite at the level of a big event. And then the third piece is we are also working on some new resources that will make it easier for organizers to close certain streets for events. So one of the things that we've heard is there's a lot of demand for things like festivals, markets, these types of activations that use public spaces in different ways. We're going to do some work to make that easier for you all by pre-identifying some specific locations where it's going to be a little bit easier. The second piece has to do with location partnerships. So one of the things that's unique about Bellevue that isn't necessarily the case in all cities is we have a lot of privately owned public spaces. These spaces are owned by office buildings, sometimes commercial property owners, apartment buildings. And here it's an example would be the space in yellow on screen. That public plaza is actually right across the street, but it's unclear how you would activate that space if you don't have a good relationship with the property owner. So we're going to be working over the next few months to develop some ways to partner directly with the property owners to help programmers get better access to those spaces. Linda from the Spring District will talk a little bit more about kind of one model in the Spring District where we've kind of started that process. If you own a property, if you manage a property and you are interested in this, we would love to talk to you. So please find me after the presentations. And if you are interested in programming any of these spaces, maybe you have some small events, we'd also love to hear from you. And then the third piece, and one that I'm most excited about, is some of the funding support that we've been providing to small activations, events, and programs across the city. So this year was the first year of our Community Programming Fund, our CPF, which was our first stab at a grant program that is really broad-based, designed to support these types of activations. We had 37 grantees. We awarded $175,000 of funding for both the activity costs and then also to cover some of the permitting costs that are associated with those events. And I'm really excited that we had more than 10,000 attendees at these events. And that doesn't even count things like the farmers market that received funding and sees that many, in the course of a month. So next year, we're going to bring back the Community Programming Fund, and we're going to have some new focuses. So one, of course, will be FIFA World Cup. We're really going to try to prioritize events and activities that are taking place during that FIFA window. We're also going to be looking for, in particular, for event series, recurring activities, things that are happening over multiple weeks. We loved the one-offs. We had a number of one-offs this year, but we want to make sure that we can kind of spread that out over a longer period. And then another piece of the puzzle is, as I mentioned, we have a lot of interest in markets. So we're looking for ways to support markets as well, whether it's a farmer's market, a night market, those types of events and activations. We also are going to be heavily promoting funding that is going to be available from some of our partner organizations. So please, please, please keep an eye out for funding from especially the Seattle Chamber. They have a grant award that's actually open right now for applications, from For Culture for things that have a cultural focus or an arts and culture focus. And then we'll be sharing out more over the course of the coming months. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Susan Freeberg, who is our events guru in our Parks and Community Services Department.
Thank you, Anthony. I think guru's a little far stretched, but I'll take it. So my name is Susan, and I am the Community Service Supervisor over the Park Scheduling Office, and I'm the chair of the Special Events Committee. So if you're looking to do anything in our parks, that comes directly into my office. And so I just want to talk about a few things and how you can go about doing that for any FIFA activities or other activities that you might be interested in hosting in our parks. Maybe. There we go. All right, so first let's talk about events that are under 500 people. These in our office is kind of what we talk about, parks only events. So if you're looking to do something, just in the park, it's not gonna affect anything else in the city, transportation, fire, anything like that, then this is where you'd go. You called the park scheduling office. We need 60 days notice, no more than 6 vendors for this type of event, and park rentals open in January. We start with Bellevue residents and businesses, and then 2 weeks later, we open it up to everybody. So if you're looking to do something, the sooner you apply, the more likely you're gonna be able to get your space. I have a team of 4 people who work on anything from the fields to the parks. So if those ideas are percolating, reach out. We can help you. Also, you can go onto the website and go under outdoor events, and the park spaces will pop up, and you can look at what might fit your needs. Our parks are, we have a lot of community parks. We have a few parks that we can host larger things. So if you're looking for amplified sound and you want vendors, we have a select number of parks that can do that. If it's smaller community things, we address that as they come. So like Downtown Park, or you're thinking Crossroads, or at Robbinswood Field, our office is your one-stop shop for that. And the easiest way to get a hold of us is to either email or just call us. The number and the email is here. You can also, just like I said, outdoor, go to the park's website, outdoor events, and all this information will pop up for you on the website. So moving on to the Special Event Committee and the larger events that we see in our city. So we get a number of applications every year, and given that FIFA is coming, we are taking some consideration, and that being the deadline for priority dates is going to be December 15th. And so if applications are in by December 15th, we're going to look at FIFA priority events along with our historical events before we start scheduling everything else. So if you apply after that, you're going to start competing with the public. Like I said, um, all reservations open to the public in January, starting with residents and then non-residents. So anything for events over 500 people, things like we've had the Ukrainian Festival, and we have the ice rink at Downtown Park, and Snowflake Lane. So these are things that spread across places beyond parks. So whether it's in a roadway, not like block parties like what Anthony was talking about in your neighborhoods, but if you wanted to close down Main Street, those kinds of things, those all come through the committee. So the sooner you get your application in, the more likely that you're going to be able to do the activity that you're planning. And those things take a lot of time. So I cannot stress enough, the more time the better. Special Events Committee, they do date, time, and location, and then you work with each department to get everything worked through. And then the application is in our new system that Anthony referenced, e-approval, and all your communication happens with every department within that portal so that you get your answers. You can go back and reference at any time, and it just really streamlines the process and helps everyone stay on track. We've had great reviews from this year, and so these are some of the ideas that we're hoping to pass on to smaller events and other things as we approach FIFA. And applications are now open, so feel free to log on and apply away. We're so excited to see what your ideas are and what you bring our way. So thank you so much. And reach out to the SEC at bellevue.gov for any additional information that you might need. And you can also call the park scheduling office because I manage all of it together, so it'll get forwarded to the right person. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. I want to do a quick survey. How many of you walked in this afternoon with the idea for a event under 500 people? Okay. And does that mean the rest of you wanted more than 500 people? It's okay if that's what you want. Just trying to gauge the room. For both those sizes of events, as Susan said, the key thing is plan ahead. So you saw those dates. This presentation will be available online, and this information will be available online afterwards. But start your thinking. If you want to have a big event, it does take a village and a lot of city processing to make sure that we can do that safely and comfortably for everybody. So now we're going to make a transition. Right now, we've been talking about what is the city doing to help make FIFA be really cool. Now we're going to pivot over to our community partners, because as I said at the beginning, the city is a platform and the city is a partner, but it's going to take each and every one of you to help make FIFA successful for Bellevue next summer. So with that, we're going to pivot over to Bellred, to our incredible arts district. And I'm going to introduce Sandy Vo, the executive director of the Bellred Arts District Community Alliance.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Sandy. I'm the executive director for the Bellred Arts District Community Alliance. So a little bit about our organization, if you don't know more about us. We are a nonprofit organization, and we're committed to leading the strategic and sustainable growth of an arts district in Bellevue within the Bellred neighborhood. We're really focused on elevating the district's visibility and supporting the creative economy by working with developers to build future affordable housing, as well as future arts and cultural facilities. We're really focused on working with local artists, local creative businesses, organizations, community partners to position the Bellred neighborhood as an arts and cultural destination on the east side. And one thing that we're really focused on is activating the district with public arts, as well as arts and culture focused programming, workshops, events, placemaking, and large scale workshops. So a little bit about the Bellred neighborhood. There is over 60 plus creative businesses and organizations that call our neighborhood home. It's one of the largest concentration on the east side. Our residential population is growing as well. There's been over 800 housing units that have been built. And so we're really in a growth phase. We're an evolving phase that's currently in transition from a light industrial area into a mixed use neighborhood. Our growth is concentrated around the Bell Red Light Rail Station. So it provides a really central activation and events area. And our plan for FIFA, which is why you're all here, is to highlight the creative businesses, organizations, and artists in the area. So really bringing more visibility to them and driving foot traffic to them, bringing them out of their shops into the neighborhood so more people can learn more about what's going on in the area. Combining the thought of arts and soccer exhibitions. So when I think of arts and sports, I think of the Kraken jerseys designed by artists. You know, it brings visibility to the team as well as to the artists in the vicinity. And we're really focused on welcoming everyone into the neighborhood. So all ages cultural programmings, food, visual art, music, etc. that highlights that Bellevue diversity that we're really proud to be known for. And one last thing is we're really focused on stay for a while and stop and go experience. So maybe, you know, we want people to feel like they can stop by, pick something up, and then go off to the game. Or maybe they don't want to be in Seattle in the crowds and they want to hang out in the Bell Red neighborhood and do something arts and culture related. We really want to make sure that this event that we are hosting is for everyone and providing experience for all. So thank you for listening, and I'll be around if you have any questions.
Thank you, Sandy. And all of our community partners will be available to talk after the presentations. Quick question. How many of you have gotten off at the Bell Red Light Rail Station? Okay, good amount. For the rest of you that haven't, you should see it. They had an incredible night market over the summer. That was fantastic. So looking forward to seeing what they're doing for next year. And then, as Sandy mentioned, there's just a lot of artistry that's going on in there. And I actually have one of the artist-designed Kraken shirts from last year's Hispanic Heritage Night. So I love that design. And speaking of Hispanic heritage, we're going to pivot to the next light rail station over, moving our way back to downtown. So a couple of weekends ago, we had the opportunity to host Bellevue's first Hispanic Heritage Month event in partnership with the Spring District. How many of you have been to the Spring District, gotten off at the Spring District? Okay, more of you. Okay, all right, cool. Well, with that, I'm going to invite Linda Hoffner, General Manager of the Spring District and kind of Miss Bellevue, kind of with you and Claire are everywhere. So welcome, Linda.
Thank you, thank you. So real quick, Emil's story kind of reminded me of my own reasons for being involved and getting involved in this World Cup experience. You know, I grew up playing soccer, never made it past middle school soccer, but then had the great opportunity to be a soccer mom. And did that for many, many years. And my son actually is a collegiate soccer player. And so soccer has been a huge part of our family's life. And my son is actually down in San Diego studying sports marketing and recently just applied for an internship with FIFA International in Miami. So he's anxiously awaiting a response from them, but he sent me the cover letter that he wrote as part of his application. And it really, to me, touched on like this whole theme of the world's game. And I just want to read it. I just thought about it while I was sitting here because I think it's really important to see the perspective from a 21-year-old who grew up playing soccer and the opportunities that FIFA are providing. He wrote, "Dear Hiring Committee, there's only one sport that has earned the honor of being called the world's game. Across humanity, no other force unites community and culture quite like it. That's a pretty bold claim to make, but when 20 hexagons meet 20 pentagons, there's no other euphoric magic quite like it. Better yet, you don't even need a proper ball, boots, or pitch. Football, soccer, futsal, or altinha? It doesn't matter what you call it or how you play. What matters is that you play. Playing has taught me how to foster a work ethic, how to work with a team to achieve a goal, and the power and impact of finding and building community. So that's from a 21-year-old. I think that's pretty cool. And he had the great honor of working with Trincy and the local Bellevue Mid-Lakes United team this summer as an internship. So thank you for hiring him. But soccer is that. It is the world's game. It is amazing. And I think we don't even know what the impact is going to be yet next summer. So like Jesse said, I represent the Spring District, which sounds like many of you have been there, but we are the first transit-oriented development in Bellevue. Just on the other side of 405 in the Bell Red area, one light rail station stop before Sandy's. We are a mix of about 800 residential units, 2 million square feet of commercial office space, and retail amenities that support that neighborhood. We have amazing open spaces that were literally designed and intentionally built to be those community gathering spaces. Our development team traveled the world internationally, like looking for what brings people together and what is centric to a community. And open spaces, parks, and a brewery does that. So we do have a brewery on site. Throughout the 5 years that I've been there, we've really tried to cultivate that sense of community and try new things and really throw things at the dartboard and see what sticks there. And that includes, we've had live reindeer, and we've had a petting zoo, and we've had all kinds of things in our park. The really special thing about this, no offense to the city, is that it's privately owned. So I can kind of play around and do a lot of different things without having to kind of go through the same kind of process. But what was the most special thing was this Hispanic Heritage Month celebration that we just had. And that really took a partnership with the city and Bell Red and a market group called Eki Mercado. And we delivered this community event that was spectacular. My coworker and I were there helping volunteer at it, and literally it brought tears to our eyes to see the space utilized in this way. This is a photo of from the market, and that is really what we want to focus on in the Spring District. Like, how can we have cultural celebrations, bring in market vendors who have goods to sell that represent some of these countries that are playing, and really acknowledge the different cultural aspects that soccer brings together. So as we start our planning and visioning for what's happening next summer, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for cultural celebrations. We've had interest from the Ethiopian community to host an Ethiopian-themed event, which we're really excited about. Bringing back Eki Mercado is certainly an interest too, and groups that have already have existing platforms that we can plug into the open spaces that we have. So that's a lot of kind of where we're thinking and what we're hoping to do, and really celebrate just the unique aspect of bringing community together. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to force Sandy into making some Bell Red jerseys or Bellevue jerseys with your artists, so we can all look awesome on these game days. So thank you so much. Reach out. We're open to all kinds of ideas.
Thank you, Linda. And so now, as we're working our way southwest back on the light rail, we come back to Bellevue's biggest neighborhood, our most energetic neighborhood, and would like to welcome Patrick Bannon, the President and Executive Director of the Downtown Association. Thank you, Patrick.
Jesse. Hi, everyone. I'm Patrick with the Bellevue Downtown Association, and it's wonderful to see many of you I know and many of you I don't know. So this is a great opportunity after this meeting. I'd love to meet you. If you have an interest in doing something downtown, everyone has been downtown because you're here. And a little bit about the Bellevue Downtown Association. We're a 501c6 nonprofit organization. We have members who have been a part of the organization for years and years. And we also happen to be the city's largest producer of community events. Some of our community events include the Bellevue Family Fourth, the Bellevue Downtown Ice Rink, the Bellevue Jazz and Music Series, one of the arts fairs, and a number of other big events that we do. So we are very accustomed to producing larger festivals and events in downtown Bellevue. We know a lot of the hurdles and challenges that come with that, including funding and permits. So we are, above all, excited to help downtown be a stage for fun and activity for the month-long celebration. Anthony and Jesse both talked about the Grand Connection corridor in downtown. We see that as an outstanding opportunity for us in a linear fashion, build in programming and activation that creates a flow of energy between our light rail station, our office core, our retail center, our downtown park, Old Bellevue, and perhaps even down to the waterfront. We know there will be constraints on exactly what all can be done during the month, but we have an opportunity to leverage existing events and then take your great ideas and really put those into, at least either find resources to bring those to life or directly work with you to partner with those property owners and property managers for 3 of the major privately owned public spaces in downtown. They're members of ours, and again, we are used to programming in City Hall Plaza as well as the Bellevue Downtown Park. We think there's a fantastic opportunity to decorate or style downtown that is a welcoming and hospitable experience for fans and residents and workers in downtown Bellevue. Downtown is the heart of Bellevue, and it should be the beating heart of our community during this month-long celebration of sport. We see an opportunity to combine active programming with passive programming, so there could be highly marketed watch events along with casual interactive game and fan experiences that combine on match days and non-match days. We can work to coordinate events, not only within downtown, but we want to coordinate actively with the Bellred Arts District and the Spring District and other things happening in the community. So there's synergy and there's strong communication, lines of communication that make sense and help reduce any confusion that may be out there. So those 5 big public spaces that we see as huge opportunities include City Hall Plaza, City Center Plaza, which is just south of the Bellevue Transit Center, the Meadow that has not opened yet. So I'm not speaking on behalf of Amazon in the Meadow, but it is a privately owned public space that will likely have things happening. And we look forward to coordinating and being part of that idea generation. There's Compass Plaza, major public open space in the heart of downtown Bellevue. We do lunchtime concerts there in the summer. You're probably familiar with it. And then moving through past Bellevue Square and down to the park, there's Bellevue Downtown Park Plaza that is an opportunity too. So we have 5 major public spaces that we can help program, or at least bring ideas to life to program them. So we look forward to engaging with this community, really offering an open invitation on behalf of the downtown community to help bring downtown to life and just have so much fun during this month. So I'll stick around, of course, after this presentation and would love to meet you. And if you have ideas already on what you'd like to do, we're all ears. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. All right, so we're coming in for a landing soon. We have heard about what we can do and the work that the city is doing to help make it easier and the general strategy. We've heard some about the where you can do things. So we encourage you to connect with the BDA, the Arts District, and the Spring District. And now we want to talk a little bit about the who. Who's coming? How's the visitor marketing going to happen? What can we expect? And so with that, we're going to welcome up our destination marketing organization and marketing experts from Visit Bellevue, Brad Jones and Natalie Fortes.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to see you all. We're very excited to be here and engage with all of you. My name is Brad Jones. I'm Executive Director at Visit Bellevue. I just want to say I had the opportunity in my career to serve on 2 host committees for 2 Ryder Cups, a Super Bowl, a MLB All-Star Game, and a U.S. Open. I will tell you, I could tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about that. But the good communities that really embrace the event and visitors that came and really enjoyed them were all the community showed up. And little things like in your small businesses, wearing name tags that say Welcome World Cup or whatever country or team, little things like that. When you get on public transportation, it all makes a difference. And so it's great to see that we're doing planning for this now rather than a few weeks before the event. So thank you so much. Visit Bellevue is Bellevue's destination management organization. And we strive to stimulate Bellevue's economy with overnight visitors. And that is known as tourism. We host almost 2 million overnight visitors a year. And we hope to get that up a little bit this year, which we're going to. And that spending correlates into almost $2 billion worth of economic impact for our city. It's the fourth largest industry in our city. Our team executes a few things. We work in destination sales. That's where we establish and develop relationships to bring conventions, meetings, events, and things like this to Bellevue. And coincidentally, this department of ours has been engaged with FIFA since 2022. So we've been very active with them, and we continue to work with them. Bellevue has 7 hotels in the official room block for FIFA. So that's how those things happen. We have a marketing and communications team, and those folks are always deploying paid marketing, public relations, earned media, social media, influencer-based marketing, special events, and communications for Bellevue to attract overnight visitors. We have a visitor experience department, and they are constantly doing tourism development projects, special events, transportation, workforce development, and culinary tourism. And lastly, we have a division called Destination Stewardship and Community Relations. These people are ensuring that destination accessibility, sustainability, multicultural connectiveness, arts, and making sure our community is really connected to all of our work. So we're very excited about FIFA World Cup coming to Lumen Field, and we are more excited that Bellevue is being positioned as what we call a halo host community to the games. Currently, we are expecting an estimated 8,000 to 15,000 overnight visitors relating from these games in Bellevue. As Jesse said, this estimate could change somewhat. That's why it's a big range, because teams and their schedules will be selected in December. So that number really is going to be based on what countries come here to the region. And there are certain soccer countries that are avid, that everybody wants to see in their communities, the other 16 communities, and then there are some that don't travel as well. So we have to wait to see who's coming in order to base our estimates. So this opportunity will equate to about $3.5 to $4 million in spending in all your businesses and areas, and that will translate to about $8 million in total economic impact from these visitors that are coming. Visit Bellevue's role for positioning Bellevue for World Cup involves the management of the official room blocks that I spoke of with FIFA and our hotels, providing procurement services for groups that are looking for event venues and rooms. So, if you don't know this, over half the tickets, almost half the tickets for FIFA and World Cup are controlled by corporations, by sponsors that sponsor the games and have affiliations with FIFA, with host committees, things like that. And so based on the schedule coming out in December, we will start to hear from those corporations that are coming and that would like to do events, receptions, and events associated with the games. That's a big part of World Cup. So we're excited about that. And then providing event services to those groups and communicating with our hospitality industry and community. We will also start to execute a paid marketing campaign to help attract fans. Believe it or not, people just don't come to Bellevue. We have to invite them. So we put marketing campaigns together and we target those visitors, potential visitors, and we'll be doing that through mainly digital means based on the countries of games that are coming. So we will execute that paid marketing campaign, invite them to choose Bellevue over other options, and then once they do, we'll tell them about all the great things that are going to be happening in our city. So thirdly, our visitor experience department will be shoulder to shoulder with all of you in communicating with incoming visitors as they arrive on what's going on, where to go, the schedules, and making sure that our hospitality frontline staff are trained, knowledgeable, and ready to welcome the world to Bellevue. So, wonderfully, our organization is a public development authority. We're funded through the lodging tax that comes into our city. And because of that, we've made it free and easy for you to engage with us, for community partners to be representative and have their information always represented on our websites, on our collateral as part of our campaigns and communications. So it's free and easy. And it's my pleasure to introduce Natalie Fortes, our tourism manager, who will explain some of that.
Thank you for, hello? Yeah, there we go. Thank you for the introduction, Brad. Hello, everyone. My name is Natalie. I'm the tourism manager at Visit Bellevue. And today I'm going to walk you through some of the many services that we offer all of our Bellevue business partners. Again, I do want to start it off with everything's free. And we'll have our information up here if you want to reach out. So we want to provide you guys the services and opportunities to showcase yourself to the visitors for World Cup. So here are some ways to engage. The first way to get involved, express your interest by becoming a partner with Visit Bellevue through our partner portal. Again, it's completely free. The partner portal itself is an incredibly useful tool. It helps you manage how you appear on our website to our audience of tourists and locals alike. You can update the description of your business, add images of the product you're selling, and also list other offerings or amenities or even deals you may have going on at any time, but especially during World Cup. I'm also here to help you optimize your listing through search engine optimization and other strategies to ensure your business gets the most visibility possible to our audience. Since our website feeds directly into Google, when you Google anything Bellevue, our website has very high, it's very high up in the results. How your business is presented online to audiences is invaluable. Another reason you should join the partner portal is because it's a great way to connect with other Visit Bellevue business partners. Here's an example of what you can create through the portal. So on the left, you'll see what the back end looks like when you're editing your listing. On the right is how that information translates to our website. I used Ascend as an example. They've done an excellent job at how they display their business. So their description is optimized for both search engines and AI. They highlight accessibility features and amenities. They've also included various photos and videos of their business, as well as how to reach them on their different social feeds. Again, if you want to create a listing and need any help, please reach out to me. Here's the partner engagement form. If you are interested in creating a listing or editing your existing listing on our website, you can scan the code, take a picture. My contact information is there if you need any help getting set up. All right, so the next step after becoming a partner, I would encourage all of you to attend our upcoming partner activation meeting. These meetings are a great way to learn more about Visit Bellevue, who we are a little more in depth, and the various services we offer beyond just these World Cup ones. It's also a fantastic networking opportunity to meet other Bellevue businesses in the same position as you all. And our next meeting is actually next week on the 29th, so we would love to see you there. It's fun, it's free. Megan Adams also hosts it. It's a good vibe. You guys should show up. Another great networking opportunity to meet your local Bellevue businesses is Bellevue Boost. It's a meetup series for business professionals where we discuss different tourism topics with a panel of industry experts. It's an engaging way to learn more about how to attract visitors and strengthen connections within the community. Our next Bellevue Boost is Making Business Accessible. Feel free to scan the code or take a photo to sign up and join us on November 19th. After that Bellevue Boost, we will be hosting one regarding World Cup best practices. So I encourage you all to reach out and get involved with us early on. Finally, I'd want to highlight our events calendar. This is one of our most visited pages on our website. It's a go-to resource for both visitors and locals to find out what's happening in and around Bellevue. We welcome all types of community events, from trivia nights and concerts to family-friendly events. If you're planning anything related to World Cup, we want it on the website, and this is the way you can get it on our website, is through the calendar submission portal. We've even created a special World Cup tag, so any event that's falling under that category is gonna automatically populate to our designated Soccer Cup 2026 page. Why I said Soccer Cup 2026 page is because there are a lot of very, very strict FIFA regulations for having any World Cup related event. We can't say World Cup, we can't say FIFA. We at Visit Bellevue will also be providing the branding playbook, the FIFA branding playbook for World Cup 2026 on our website. That goes through all the regulations you need to follow if you're gonna host a World Cup related event and not get sued by FIFA. Great goal. We will also be having, so not only will we have the guideline for marketing and events, we will have a Soccer Cup 2026 webpage with general information about soccer, maybe a little bit of background on the rules of soccer even. And we'll also be having a separate where to watch page. So we'll be offering various World Cup services to you all, but we would love for you guys to get involved with us and get engaged, get your website or get your business on our website first so we can establish that relationship beforehand. Feel free to get in touch with us on socials. It's a great way to keep in touch with what's happening around Bellevue.
Thank you so much. We'll be around afterwards to connect and engage and to answer any questions you might have. Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, Brad and Natalie. All right, we're coming in for our landing. Just a couple of notes. There are, in addition to the resources that we talked about today, a whole host of other things that are coming out from the Seattle Metro Chamber and some additional grant opportunities that'll be coming out over the next couple of months. If you did not grab all the notes that you wanted to today, don't worry. If you registered for the event today, we will be sending out an email tomorrow with some links and more information. And you can reach out to any of the folks in this room that presented at any time for some support and getting connected. And with that, if you'd like to register your interest, we'll add you to a list of to keep getting information and updates. And we will continue working with all of you to host an incredible summer of 2026. Thank you all for being here today, and we look forward to FIFA and the World Cup.